by the way, was 1908, the very first clash with the Kiwis, that they won at Headingley 14-6, then they lost at Chelsea and Cheltenham. Can they win at Blackburn tonight and kick on and win the series? We're underway. Deacon with the kick-off. Underneath it, Robbie Paul tips it back. Couldn't be, no, it's the prop forward, Rahi, who will run the ball back. And Great Britain all round him, but he's still making good progress. Those legs are keeping pumping, and that is an ominous sign. First tackle.
Always good to see the two prop forwards getting in there, and you can see that England very quick, and it's what we expected. Adrian Morley.
He flew out of the line, then Adrian Morley, and he felt that. Did the New Zealand prop forward Jerry See-You, and that has lifted the British players visibly.
Great start for Great Britain with the fact that they are getting out of the blocks. Interesting to see the Australian referee Stephen Clarke. He made it quite clear he would give them plenty of room to play open football.
Richard Swain with the kick downfield, and here's first touch for Gary Connolly, the Wigan full-back tonight. Connolly, only the second time in his 26 tests previously that he's played at full-back. And that is Carl Pratt. Released by Leeds, or at least Leeds will listen to offers for him. Barry McDermott, his Headingley teammate.
Important that McDermott has a big game, as all the forwards. Noticing the four build-up games for the Kiwis, how big and strong they are.
Britain are no midgets either, though, Steve-O.
We have to match them, though, Eddie.
Chip over the top.
That's the first mistake.
It went backwards, says Stephen Clarke. Francis Melly has got away with that.
Maybe the first impact, but did he catch his leg?
And now they have the penalty, do the Kiwis, as a result of all of this.
Well, the referee, Stephen Clarke, had already called held, and therefore the penalty is forthcoming. Nervous times for everyone. Liam Price.
And Gary Freeman.
Yeah, Freeman, the coach, he was quite happy with the performance against Wales, but I was talking to him a couple of hours after the game, Eddie, and he was saying that our biggest problem could be ourselves.
Well, there is a problem there for Jerry See-You, losing the ball in the tackle, or what it nicked there in a two-man effort by Barry McDermott. A question mark about it, but the referee happy to put the scrum down with head and feet to Great Britain. Their coach David Waite.
No question mark about that, and he was ripped out. And the Australian Stephen Clarke, well, we didn't have a good view of it. We certainly did.
Deacon feeds, and the ball not yet out. Now it is. Oh, not the best pass from Deacon. On the bounce to Sinfield. Robbie Paul met him with a very strong tackle, held out by Lance O'Hire. Here now is Mike Forshaw.
Looking to get away with that. Kevin Sinfield lost possession. Nerves are setting in already.
Gleeson found Senior, and they're swarming round the ball carrier. The New Zealanders quick play the ball. That's what's needed. And here now is Andrew Farrell, Great Britain captain tonight, 19th time. Britain appealing for a penalty, non-forthcoming. Deacon, and here now Stuart Fielden, and Fielden bounces away from two. The early exchanges in the forwards will maybe set the tone for this test match. Cunningham, McDermott.
Pretty good work on the short blind side.
This is the last tackle here for Great Britain. Cunningham, infield it goes to Deacon, and Deacon will dab the kick through. Robbie Paul, his Bradford Bulls teammate, read that. And Paul picks up and makes some space. This is the first break of the test. And he's through Barry McDermott as well. Weak tackling there by Great Britain.
Good job that Pratt got back with Senior. They had to as well. That was a poor kick, and it was also a poor change. You saw quite easy how Robbie Paul just danced through 3 or 4 would-be defenders.
This is Owen Gutenbiel now. He impressed against Wales last Sunday, and he has got the place in the test match. Stephen Kearney does well, offloads, Swain. Oh, that's gifted back to Great Britain. Well hunted down by Deacon. And now the New Zealanders caught offside at the play of the ball. And this is kickable.
Well, I mentioned the fact Gary Freeman was worried that perhaps his own side would be the biggest enemy, coming up with mistakes and errors. And they were not standing square either, and made no attempt on that short blind side to get back the full 10. And that is good refereeing by Stephen Clarke. Not that he'll be impressed by the penalty, but plenty to select. It's a nervous time for both sides and the officials, of course. So much at stake. Britain want to just erase that bad memory against the Australians 5 months ago. this is their golden opportunity.
Absolutely, and interestingly enough, despite the fact that we have Paul Deacon out there, the man who was the leading goal kicker in Super League this year, the goal-kicking responsibilities fall for the moment on the shoulders of the captain, Andrew Farrell here. 41 goals in his Test career so far. This for 42. He needs 6 points to become only the 10th man to get 100 points for Great Britain. Will this be the first 2? Yes, it will. Britain are off and running. They lead by 2 points to 0 over the New Zealanders here at Ewood Park.
Good way to settle the nerves. Also get the crowd behind you. Take what's on offer, and he knows that David Wade has been around long enough in the coaching stakes. And what a night for this fella. Obviously looking forward to clinching the Test series. He knows it's going to be tough.
Well, he was bitterly disappointed in Sydney, Steve-O, as every follower of the British cause was when they lost by that record margin against Australia.
Well, it was sheer folly as far as I was concerned. Let's hope we don't ever do that again. You have to give them time to build, not do it midway through a season.
Richard Swain with a deep kick-off. Sinfield pushes the ball in field to Barry McDermott. He takes it forward, and that was Lauatiti and Kearney. The Kiwis quickly off the blocks here to drop Stuart Fielden to the ground.
Interested to see what tactics Great Britain utilised in the kicking game.
Cunningham. Still Cunningham. Richard Swain gets to it with a little bit of help from Paul Rahihi, but Cunningham doing well. Taking the battle to the Kiwis. Sinfield. Here now is Mike Forshaw. Off the ground it goes. Back to Sinfield. That was touched in flight. 6 to go. And it's Stuart Fielden in possession for Great Britain.
They're on the roll. Got to make it pay now. That's good thinking, taking a blindside, but that's a bad mistake. That'll go down as a knock-on against Great Britain.
And Adrian Morley it was. He, I think, was meant to be the dummy runner, and he instinctively stuck out an arm.
Yep. It certainly wasn't meant for him. It was on its way to Martin Gleeson. It's nervous times, always is. Adrian Morley, of course, he wants to show the rest of the world, like he did in the Australian Grand Final, that he is world-class. That's a great tackle.
Yes, he showed in that Grand Final that he is world-class against 10 of the 17 in this New Zealand side tonight from the New Zealand Warriors. Good offloading skills, though, there by Lance Hohaya. This is Gutenbiel now for the New Zealanders. They're just inside their own half of the field. Richard Swain waits for it, gets the ball away. This is Jerry Siu. Britain now caught offside. Keith Senior picked up by Stephen Clark.
Well, he's certainly making his presence felt, the Australian official. And you could see there that Senior made no attempt to get back to 10. As soon as he made contact, left the official know nothing else to do but award this penalty.
That's a good kick. It takes the Kiwis to the 20-metre mark. The third penalty of the match, second to New Zealand. Richard Swain restarts. Here is Rahihi on the charge.
That's one!
And it was Cunningham had to come in as the second tackler because he was nearly through Forshaw. Here now Jerry Siu. This is a big test of the British defence. First one really. 8.5 minutes of the test match gone. Richard Swain at dummy half. He finds Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones back on the inside. Good tackling.
Spotted it ever so well, Stuart Fielden. That's 2 on the trot. That's what they need for the full 80 minutes. Good solid defence.
Richard Swain now attacking the line, and Richard Swain. He was held up. The referee says held up Richard Swain. New Zealand will get head and feet at the resulting scrum. Gary Freeman, the coach, their most capped international of all time. 46 caps. But he was on the 93 Kiwi tour that lost here 3-0.
Good defensive effort, and yet again we see there Stuart Fielden coming to the rescue with Connolly. See how they turned him on his back. Fielden got underneath, but he really has impressed me, this Richard Swain.
Nigel Vanganar now dancing away from one would-be tackle. That was Deacon, and then the reinforcements arrive. But this is a big threat on the British line right now. And it's with Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones delays and finds Kearney. And Kearney tries to offload. Gleeson got a hand to that. It'll be back to 0. Robbie Fall lost it. He'll play on, though, the referee, and they might bring it back for the first knock-on. No, he won't. Britain have it back.
Should have been penalised there. Ohio came in very, very late indeed. It really was tit for tat. That's what I like to see a referee do. Get the game moving. That's what he wants.
Martin Gleeson now of St Helens. 16 tries for the Saints this year. Connolly joining the line. Good ball to Paul Deacon. Wide it goes to Senior. Now there's a chance here. He got a beautiful pass away. This is a chance for Great Britain, and the winger on that far side is Carl Pratt. And Pratt is hauled down just 6 metres short.
Fahafili came to the rescue.
Deacon attacking the line, stabbing it through. Farrell taken out in back play. Deacon with a little kick, and he's annoyed with himself. That was a break. That was a chance for Britain.
Super play, but a little bit too strong. You can see the in-goal areas here at this ground. Very, very narrow indeed. But this was superb. You see how that Senior, he just sucked in Fahafili and Pratt. And it's a good job that the winger got back in time. That'll lift the confidence.
It was a beautiful pass from Senior to his Leeds teammate Carl Pratt. He can leave Headingley, say Leeds. 38 tries for Carl Pratt in 81 appearances since his debut for the Rhinos in 1999. And a little half chance for Great Britain in the Test match after they defended their line well.
There you see the Kiwis eager yet again, trying to offload. CU wanted to do it there.
Yep. Stacey Jones with the kick. That's over the top. Pratt is after it, but that will run surely over the dead ball line, which it does. As Steve-O says, very narrow in-goal area here at Ewood Park.
It'll take both sides quite a bit of time to get used to it as well.
Britain wanting to get on with it, but a couple of Kiwis just ambling back. Owen Guttenbeil, who's tackling here, Andrew Farrell was one of them.
Well, that break there from the winger Carl Pratt really would have lifted the spirits. It only takes a little thing like that to build the confidence and say, hey, come on, we can break through this defence.
Got to be a penalty. CU lying all over the top of Stuart Field.
Got to go one way or the other.
Looks like a trickle of claret coming from the mouth as well.
Barry!
That's what you expect in the hotbed of international rugby league. He's impressed me, this fella, though. His workload is very high.
He was a Samoan in the World Cup. He played all 4 of their games. He started the Test against Australia last month. Key figure, though. See what a hit that was by Guttenbeil.
And Rahihi.
And they've got another penalty.
Tell you what, Stuart Field is not well at all. He is not with us at the moment. And he got a real big knock. And you can see there, he's struggling. He's Stuart Fielded.
Wisely here, Andrew Farrell has elected to kick for goal just to give Stuart Fielded some time to recover from that knock.
And the ball goes, yep, I've got no option other than to penalise you. You clear away and don't touch him, and there's no penalty. Yeah, not touch him. As soon as the tackle's over, you've got to get out.
This play the ball area cleared. That's why he's explaining to Jerry Siu why the penalty has been given. Solomona comes on for Rahihi. So Farrell with the opportunity here.
Okay.
He hasn't scored a try at Test level in 5 years, would you believe? But David Wade hopes that tonight might be the night. Looking quite suntan too, the Great Britain coach, no doubt from that warm weather stint they had in Spain last week. And Andrew Farrell now 1 from 1. This is around about 8 metres further back from where he kicked the first. And this for a 4-0 lead for Great Britain. Giving it a good thump again. Has got 2 points again, Andrew Farrell. Great Britain lead by 4 points to 0. It's a steady as she goes start from the Lions.
And the right tactics as well. David Wade, the coach, obviously getting the message through. We'll take everything that's on offer. And the second penalty by this man. You know, Eddie, one day I'd love to find out what Andy says to himself. He will not reveal it.
He won't.
Maybe one day when he retires.
Well, we've got a special programme with Andrew Farrell at Christmas time, and he won't even tell us in that either. So I don't think anyone will ever find out, Steve. No one will know. We need a lip-reading specialist.
Anybody out there? Right in.
Good call. This is Leon Price of the Bradford Bulls. Plays the ball there to Cunningham. Now then, Barry McDermott. Tupi in there quickly. So too Ali Lauatiti. Now the one thing we haven't mentioned tonight is that there's no Ruben Wiki in this New Zealand outfit. That's got to be a knock-on, surely, by the winger,
well,
Melly.
He's claimed that it was the British guy that got a fingertip to it first.
That was one.
But that's solid defence.
This is Solomona.
They're getting off the line very quickly. Yeah, it was Gleeson, just got a fingertip to it. Right call by the Australian Stephen Clark.
Good offload, Swain, Stacey Jones, Ohio, and wide it goes. Good run, good offload again. Swain will attack them down the right-hand side. That was brilliant work from Gutenbiel. Right up there. Swain to his feet. Here now is Stacey Jones attacking the line. Brilliant. There's the danger. We've pinpointed it for 4 matches, and Stacey Jones is the key. There is no doubt about that in my mind. Stacey Jones can win a test match almost on his own, and he's just proved why then. Sensational skill from the New Zealand captain. Scores a level. Kick to come from bang in front of the posts.
Super skills, throwing the dummy. Watch how he turns the back there. You think it's going on the inside. Fielded took it so easily. They've been utilising the inside pass from this guy all throughout this tour. And on this occasion, he threw a huge dummy. Bang! Straight over. And as Eddie has just mentioned, little doubts in any rugby league fan's mind that this fella is world class.
Andrew Farrell is leading the inquest and reading the riot act to his team. Richard Swain now bang in front of the sticks. It'll be 6-4 in a moment. 6-4 it is to New Zealand. Well, just when it was going so well, Great Britain just falling off in defence, and Stacey Jones, well, they really took the dummy there. David Waite alongside him as assistant Brian Noble, coach of the Bradford Bulls. There's the key, though. There's the killer. He's never lost to Great Britain. All 3 tests in '96, all 3 here in 1998. All right, 2 wins and a draw in '98. But he's never been on a losing side against the men in red, white and blue.
Well, David Wade has to get the message down very quickly. He's got to put someone onto him. Someone like Sinfield or Paul Deacon. Wherever he goes, he's got to shadow him. Don't take any dummies. While he has the ball in his hands, you've got to try to belt him down.
Well, here now is the other danger man, Lauatiti, Sean McRae. These are the 2 we picked out pre-match.
Yeah, they're just starting to get a bit of a roll on Eddie, aren't they? But I thought early on, the first 18 minutes of this game, Great Britain have been fantastic in the ruck area. They've slowed the New Zealand play the ball down by having numbers in the tackle. And conversely, when they've had the football, they've actually managed to get good body position and some fairly quick play the ball. So I'd say, even though they're behind on the scoreboard, 6-4, which is, you know, obviously very, very tight, I think in terms of points on the field, they're pretty much in front in many departments, and as long as they stay patient and stay composed, they're certainly going to stay in this ball game. There's no question about it, because again we've seen New Zealand guilty of turning over some football in what I would class as unforced errors, and I think if Great Britain can keep up that defensive work, they will force more error out of this New Zealand team.
It's the 89th Test match against New Zealand. 88 played. Great Britain have won 51 of them. They've lost 33. 4 have been drawn.
And again, we see a stray pass going to ground.
This is the last tackle here for Great Britain. Carl Pratt struggling to his feet, getting it back to Deacon. Deacon with the kicking in general play. Bounces kindly into the arms of Francis Melly. He's got Robbie Paul there with him. Melly, though, and Great Britain in the shape of field and just clutching at the winger at times. There's the confirmation of the way these meetings have gone since 1908. And on home soil, 23-12 in Great Britain's favour. Overall, including the World Cup, 57 victories for Great Britain. It would be nice if it was 58 at the end of this. But at the moment, New Zealand ahead by 2 and in possession with Swain. And here's Solomona.
And there you see the Kiwis trying to offload. This will be the knock-on. He's going to play advantage. He deems it to be that way, I'm not so sure.
But it isn't now.
He gave them plenty of opportunity.
Or did it come off a British hand? Carl Pratt was not too impressed with that particular challenge from Lance
That should have been a flop. Solomona came so late. Stephen Clark, the Aussie referee, had no option but to give the penalty there. And he's calling the skipper, Stacey Jones, and rightly so. Watch this.
Yes, Solomona. And then he had a little look over his shoulder just to check that the defensive line was set as well. And Stephen rightly blew up for the penalty.
Stephen Kearney had done all the hard work. That's just sheer laziness, especially early in this game. You expect it in the last 10 minutes.
Penalty count swung Britain's way now, 4-2. Here is Farrell.
Interesting to see how David Waite wants Farrell to play tonight. I've said that I feel he's a lot better if you use him out wide.
Anderson's on. There were quotes in the papers this week from all the British players that we've all been saying how big and strong the Kiwis are. Well, Paul Anderson's no midget. That's a nice chip over the top, and Robbie Paul's in all sorts of strife.
And he knows it too. That's good thinking. Throughout the build-up games that the Kiwis have played so far, the one thing that they have had a lot of trouble with, it's the short kick over the top. That was beautiful play by Kevin Sinfield on that blind side. And he knows he's come up with an error. And he'll give the roll back to the British side.
Goal line drop out here by the New Zealanders, taken by Richard Swain. Good length on it though, over halfway. Connolly's underneath it, pounces it safely, and here is Paul Anderson winding himself up for a run. Solomon has stood his ground with Kearney. Look, Anderson doing well. Back in New Zealand territory. Cunningham a dummy half. Here is Fielden again. Seen lots of the ball, Stuart Fielden early. Offloads brilliantly to Cunningham. They will launch an attack down that left-hand side. This is Farrell.
Good defence there by the youngster O'Hire. It had to be as well, and we can see now that Farrell is operating out wide.
Good hands here from Britain. Good ball. Connolly.
What a
Needed to be a good tackle by Swain, and was. Cunningham gives it to Sinfield. Sinfield to Morley. Almost through.
Again, Richard Swain coming to the rescue.
Cunningham to Sinfield.
They'll be back to six.
He's dropped the ball.
And he's got the opportunity. I think he said back to six. So it'll be head and feet to the Kiwis, I feel.
No advantage, Great Britain feed loose.
No, Great Britain feed. First offence, first knock on. No advantage forthcoming. Good decision from Stephen Clark. More pressure here for the New Zealand defence. Britain must score though, Steve-O. They must turn these opportunities into points.
They've got to in a great position now, and it's been an indifferent start though for Adrian Morley. Nerves obviously playing its part. It's the second time he's dropped the ball.
Deacon, Mike Forshaw. That's to the ground.
Second phase of attack there, could have been a short pass.
And that's got to be a penalty. Well, Solomon, he's got to start taking some action here, the referee. He's warned them. And here's another warning. And he's called the captain over too.
Well, surely Gary Freeman
that was no good. He's had a couple of borderlines in the play of the ball. He's trying to overwork him. He's overworking him in the play of the ball. He's trying to hold him down. And I've spoken to you twice about being in front at kick-offs and restarts. I can't keep talking to you. So there's a multitude of things I've spoken to you about. Get your act into gear, okay?
I think the message is plain for Mr. Solomona and Gary Freeman next time, and there might be a yellow card. To say Gary Freeman has brought forward his substitute David Solomona. Gary Freeman, a bright and breezy character, isn't he? And this, of course, for Andrew Farrell, is for 100 points for Great Britain. Only the 10th man to reach the ton for his country if he kicks this, and importantly in the context of this match, for 6-all. 6-all it is. 100 points in Test football for the British skipper.
Just keep the cock rolling, and they certainly are doing that. And the British Lion enjoying himself as much as this guy though. It's such a big night for this fella. Led by example, but it is interesting to see that Waite obviously wants him to operate out wide, maybe just off the fringe of the two centres.
Richard Swain with a deep kick-off, and underneath it, Sinfield. And here is Paul Anderson again. Solomona is bounced off. Kearney comes in with Lauatiti. Must say the British boys have started brightly. That's a good high from Kearney. Let's get some injury news from the Kiwi camp. Chris?
Yeah, well, it was a while back now. I mean, this game really is being played at such a frantic pace. But big Jerry Siu, he came off with a cork. Now, normally you can play on with a cork, but this looks pretty serious indeed. I don't think we will see him come back into the game. The good thing, though, I guess, is that he's carrying 4 forwards on the bench, as he has done for all 4 warm-up matches for this game.
Thanks, Chris. Just explain to those of us who aren't medical, what's a cork?
Well, a cork, I guess it's a hematoma, Edward.
Thank you. Not one that you'd get out of a bottle of wine, then.
used to be called dead legs.
That's more like it.
Yeah.
That's an Australianism.
Sure is, mate. Well, they should be very pleased with themselves. David Wade, I'm sure, is that you've got to take these opportunities. Okay, they've come 3 times by 3 penalties. But if the Kiwis are willing to offer the gift, you've got to take it. Unwrap it, throw away the ribbon.
Monty Beetham here, ever present on tour so far. 4th cap tonight. Here's Solomona on a warning from the referee. Come to daddy, says Paul Anderson. And Monty Beetham on for Lauatiti, and Solomona's injured. This is Stacey Jones. He's the man. Oh, we've got to watch him. Polituya. Oh, Beetham wasn't waiting for that.
Great opportunity there, Monty Beetham. And he just took his eyes off the football. Stuart Fielding was coming, zoning in. Well, again, the Kiwis get themselves in a good position to attack, and they come up with an error.
Picked up by Sinfield. He got the pass away to Gleeson as well. He's got Tupi in front. That's a great run from Gleeson. And Pratt has switched wings. He's over this side now. Polituya all round the ankles. Pratt struggles to his feet. Leon Price will have a go. Beetham low down. Gutenbeil up top. Here's Connolly. Farrell. Little half break. Connolly in support. Who's with him? Connolly wants to pass. No one was there.
We need that second phase. It's not there, and we've not seen any running from this fella. Kieran Cunningham, we need more of it.
This is Deacon. And Deacon wrestled to the ground by Stacey Jones. Last tackle here, this set of 6. Anderson, Farrell with the dab through. Interestingly, off the knee.
Yeah, spot over the line, though.
Yes, it was. Henry Farfili, foot over the dead ball line.
Good thinking as well. Plants it deliberately over the dead in goal.
Now, next year, if Stewart Cummings has his way, that will be outlawed. And it will be drop out under the sticks.
Well, I hope they do it. Kicking into touch.
This year, it's tap on the 20.
No doubt about it. Only touch, though. The foot down. Ooh, another error. What on earth has happened?
Well, Sinfield.
Well, I didn't hear the whistle.
Neither did I, neither did Sinfield. David Waite might have done. The referee puts the scrum down, head and feet, Kiwis.
Wait for the ball, we haven't got a ball, don't come in.
They certainly were eager to get in there. Obviously, it must have been a touch. I'm not too sure.
Off Leon Price.
Can you go, Andy? Hold it in there.
Rahihi back on for Solomona. He has a problem, David Solomona. And I know that there has been a little bit of flu in the camp, and there's been 1 or 2 injuries as well. They're getting a little bit threadbare, are the Kiwis. They've only got 20 players now. This is Lance O'Hire, and Adrian Morley collared him. Richard Swain now.
Great defence.
This is Tupi, and they're hassling the Kiwis.
Yeah, putting a lot of pressure on them. That's what you've got to do. That's when the mistakes keep coming through.
Rahihi, all wrapped up. And Paul Sculthorpe on the headset, listening to David Waite, no doubt passing the messages on. And let's hope that Paul Sculthorpe is fit for the 2nd test next week. Good kick. That's a good relieving kick from Stacey Jones. He knows that his team are just under a touch of pressure.
Well, will he go to the screen? I think it was just over the 40 yet. And did he go on the apex? Either way.
No, it's head and feet to Great Britain.
So important, this fella, to the Kiwi side, and not only just for his kicking, wonderful individual try that he scored against a runner play, I must say.
Keep it in there, keep it in, Monty.
So head and feet to Great Britain at the scrum, and from the base of that scrum, Mike Forshaw. He plays the ball, and that was risky. There was nobody there. Senior suddenly came from nowhere, picked it up. Cunningham, Andrew Farrell. Diagonal run from Farrell.
You've got to wonder whether Kieran Cunningham is still suffering. We know he's playing with a broken hand, but he hasn't had a run from dummy half, Eddie. And I mean, surely that David Waite wouldn't have said to him, "Don't bother." That's his game. That's his power play. Now he goes.
Dragging the defence to him, giving it to Deacon. Deacon then to Forshaw. And Forshaw spins away from one and gets the ball away. It's flicked off the fingertips. And this now is Sinfield, and the dab is an invitation for Leon Price to chase. Robbie Paul is there, but it's picked up by Francis Melly, and Paul Deacon did well with the tackle.
Much better kick and chase there.
Feely now.
All you got to do is, with these big fellas, Eddie, just keep turning them around. It'll take it out of them eventually.
Jamie Peacock on in 17. There's the first tackle made by him. We'll never forget that first test against the Aussies at Huddersfield last year when he scored the opening try. Here is Monty Beetham. Big hit by Farrell, but he got away from him, Beetham. Farrell came back for seconds with Forshaw. Now it's Swain. That bounced off, and that's a knock-on.
He made a play for it there, Carl Pratt. He looks a bit bemused, but I can assure you that it'll be the New Zealanders' headed feed. Well, they'll be happy with the fact that it's 6-all.
Just a little one from Pratt.
Little fumble.
Right, fellas. Here we go, great.
I'm sure that David Waite would have been happy with being on level terms after 30 minutes.
Off his foot, says the referee. There's a mistake almost from Tupi. Oh, he's given the knock-on, Tupi, against him.
Yeah, he hit the man. It doesn't have to hit the ground. And he's got it right. Stephen Clark, the official, has got it spot on. Tupi complaining, but he loses it. As I say, it doesn't have to hit the ground. And therefore, once he loses control of it, good pressure by Gleeson. He's claiming that he recovered it. Either way, you've got to take your chance. Now, this is where Great Britain really have to come up with a set pattern and a set move.
And there is Connolly. Connolly trying to duck underneath them. Tupi had hold of his shorts. He was finished off by Stephen Kearney. Here's Jamie Peacock now. Well, Great Britain having lots of pressure, and they've got to turn this pressure into some points. It's now with Fielden. Pops it up to Deacon. Deacon kicking early, turning that defender round. Good work by Carl Pratt. Great work by Pratt and Senior.
Faha Feely hurt. He fell this one. Beautiful little chip. See that the Kiwis quite reluctant to sort of get into top gear when the ball's kicked into the corner. He can knock up himself, Deacon, but he's a key figure. I keep mentioning Stacey Jones. We know his quality, and the kick into the corner there for Carl Pratt. So important.
Amazing to think that Carl Pratt will add a club next year. He can leave Headingley. Leeds do still hold his registration, of course. They paid £100,000 for him from Featherstone, former Academy international. But he doesn't figure in Darryl Powell's plans for next year. But he's shown up well in the opening half hour of this first test. This is Fielden now for Great Britain. Cunningham to Forshaw. Forshaw offloads to Anderson. And Anderson will trundle it forward.
And it's the British boys now that are twisting in the tackle. They're getting used to the second phase of attack, hitting the target, then offloading.
This is Peacock, and he offloads at Sinfield, and Sinfield's got Leon Price. They'll score, Great Britain. Leon Price will score, and it was a great drive in by Jamie Peacock, and Sinfield somehow made the ball stick, and Price was in space on the wing, and Leon Price gets over for the try. A try in the second test last year in defeat. A try in the first test here at Blackburn against the Kiwis. Leon Price at the ball.
Every opportunity bar one. They've got points on the board. Wasn't the best pass by Sinfield, but Peacock did ever so well. And look at the defensive quality there. They were caught out wide. Leon Price gleefully accepts it. Sinfield. Stacey Jones couldn't get to him. Peacock offloads. But look where the winner is there. Francis Melly is all at sea. Price did the right thing. He knew he'd slide over. What a fantastic drive from this fella.
And he missed the trip to Sydney in July. The 1999 Young Player of the Year, Leon Price, has given Great Britain a lead here against the New Zealanders at Blackburn. And Andrew Farrell, this is the most difficult kick of the four that he's had so far tonight. Left-footed kicker though, so I suppose he is on the right side of the pitch as far as that's concerned. And he's kicked these in the past for his country and for Wigan. But there's a bit of a camber on this pitch. He's almost running uphill for this. Look, you can't see his feet. Up the hill he goes. It's on its way. Just the wrong side of the post. 10-6 to Britain.
And they'll be happy with that, and rightly so. The build-up that allowed this man to sneak in at the corner. Well, Gary Freeman realises now that they were all at sea. Francis Melly, well, he was caught out of position, and Price made him pay just that.
And let's give a little bit of credit also to Kevin Sinfield. Not the best pass from him, not the best pass to him, but a wonderful pass wide to Leon Price. Here's Anderson. Sinfield, by the way, he's playing in his 5th different position in international football here tonight. And he is a rich talent, that young man.
Well, I was calling for a second phase of attack. It came that way.
Here's Cunningham. And Cunningham, if he starts running at them, will terrorise them. Great run from Cunningham.
Watched all the way from his opposite, Richard Swain. Great battle that tonight. Two quality hookers, different styles, of course.
How about the offload? 16-6 in Britain's favour. Here is Keith Senior. He'll straighten it up now. Quick play the ball. Cunningham. Deacon. Outside. A kick. Outside the 40, shouts the referee Stephen Clark. Difficult one for Francis Melly. Good chase.
Kicks are only as good as that chase, and they're still onto it. Gleeson and Price. Oh, listen to the crowd lift on that one. The Kiwis are more intent on arguing with the referee, Stephen Clark. They wanted a penalty. They'd be better served if they got back into the swing of things.
Here with me.
Britain, slowly but surely, is taking control of this game.
Kearney,
Great Britain.
dropped by a combination tackle of Gleeson and Peacock. Swain, Steve-O, don't count your chickens. It's only 10-6. And we're still in the first half of this test. Here's a 40-20 attempt by Stacey Jones. Great kick. It's a great kick. Oh, it's just bounced the wrong way. It's just bounced the wrong way from New Zealand's point of view. But Britain, well, they were absolutely open wide down the right-hand touchline. And Jones spotted it. And it just took an off break.
Wouldn't have been a 40-20, Eddie. His foot was just over, I felt. Either way, it's difficult times there for the try scorer, Stacey Jones.
Come on, let's go.
They know they are in a big battle out there. I mentioned before the start of the game that if the British forwards could just match this mighty pack that the Kiwis have, they were always going to be in with a great chance. But as you say, there's a long way to go.
Yes, long way to go. That's good Harrison there by Gutenbiel and also by Rahihi. All over the top of Paul Anderson. Anderson gets to his feet, plays the ball. Cunningham, here's Farrell. Farrell, oh, picked up by Puller-Tuya and dumped on his back. Mike Forshaw.
It's important now, Eddie, that they just calm things down. The 4-point lead going at half-time. Great fillip for the side. Just pile it forward. Make sure there's a good kick and chase here. Got to be a good one.
It's with Deacon. And there is the kick. It's a high one. And Robbie Paul is underneath it. Clasps it to his chest. And Robbie Paul runs the ball back, but only as far as Sinfield. Forshaw there as well. This is Fafili. Good work by Peacock.
Here is boys, hold here. Hold!
Richard Swain. Stephen King. Big hit by Anderson on Kearney.
They did well to keep the man very quiet indeed. One of the world's best offloaders. But as the stat showed a couple of moments ago, is that it's the British side that are eager to offload now.
Attack building here, though. This is Rahihi. Great Britain getting to ground by the captain. Last one. Swain. Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones. Swain with the kick.
It's a poor one.
It is a poor kick.
Far too long. And that was brought about because there was wonderful pressure by the British defence. Freeman not happy with the way things are turning out.
Well, such a transformation. It's a black day, July the 12th, in the rugby league calendar of this country, when the Australians took Great Britain to the cleaners in Sydney 64-10. But what a change! What a change tonight!
Hey, come on, boys.
Senior. playing the second best rugby league nation in the world, the New Zealanders, and taking the game to them. This is Connolly. Back it goes to Senior. Senior with the pass to Sinfield, and Sinfield will come back the other way. Look for the offload, it wasn't on, he took the tackle. Coming up to half-time, boy, a try would be priceless now. Deacon, this is Forshaw, and Forshaw waits for support, it's there from McDermott.
It's Cunningham actually, Eddie, but it doesn't matter. At least they've got that second phase, they're supporting.
Deacon with a stab through.
Oh, great defence yet again.
Trapped in goal.
Stuart Fielden. Well, he's tackled his heart out. And again, we see this kicking game. We knew it was going to be important. So did the coach, David Waite.
They're on their way down to the dressing rooms. There's the half-time siren. No time for the dropout underneath the sticks. Deacon's kicking game has been significant. Gary Connolly has been strong and resolute at the back. And between them, Great Britain have been taken at Blackburn. Win, lose or draw, it's been 40 minutes to savour. And David Waite will be hoping the next 40 equally as good. Here is Barry McDermott. Oh, he's lost it. First mistake, first tackle, and this is Rahihi.
Oh, we could have done without this. It was good work there by Monty Beetham. Struggled with him, got to the arms, and the prop forward lost it.
This is Gutenbeil now, but good hassling defence from Cunningham and Fielden. Big test of this British defence in the opening minute of this second half. Swain looks for the runner, it's Rahihi.
Keep your eye out for Stacey Jones now. He's screaming at it, the first receiver out wide. There he gets it.
Jones again. This time the British get to him rather. McDermott on in the second half. First mistake, New Zealand on the charge with Kearney. Looking to try and offload, but he's all wrapped up by 4 British defenders, but they are so close to that line. There's Richard Swain. Here is Stacey Jones. Now it's with Lance Ohio. It's opened up for Ohio, but it was quickly closed. Deacon was there, and also Fielden, who's tackled his heart out tonight. Last tackle. Pulatuya. Jones, kick to the corner, high one for Leon Price to deal with. It's bounced back. Tupy picks up the pieces. Back it goes to Robbie Paul. It's still on the last. Robbie Paul waits and shapes. Gets the kick in, another high kick. Pratt is underneath this. Pratt has missed it. Vanganar's after it. That's a try.
What a mistake.
Dave,
what a catalogue of errors by Great Britain.
When that ball came down, and also check the grounding.
Well, they failed on the first kick onto the left-hand side. They allowed Robbie Paul plenty of room to move. And you can see there, they were more interested in putting the shade up and trying to protect the man, which should have been Pratt. But he made no attempt to go for it. Missed it completely. They'll check to see if he's onside. It looks okay here. They went back to help. Keep your eye out for Senior there. He's protecting Pratt. He really should have allowed the winger to get for him, but they didn't get to him. He made a real meal of this. Little doubt in my mind that Fahafili was going for the ball. It's 50-50 when you both launch through like that. He was going for the football, and Vanganar, sadly, if you're a British supporter, will be given this. This will be TRY. Bad mistake, remember, from Barry McDermott the first time they touched the ball.
Okay, what about the grounding?
And the try is given. No problem with the grounding. Or Nigel Vanganar, he was onside as well, and that is the worst possible start to this second half for Great Britain. A catalogue of errors. McDermott dropped it, and where on earth was the man to defuse the ball out wide?
We've got to hand it to Beetham. He went on the arm wrestle with the big fella McDermott. The ball spilled through. But this is where they missed out. Not the best attempt. And he did well, didn't he, Fa'afili, to just get that ball alive. Melly, should I say. And look at this. All the time in the world, he really should have been shut down, Robbie Paul. Well, that says it all. He was facing the right way, it was Carl Pratt. Should have taken that.
Richard Swain with a difficult kick. Farrell's kicked one from this spot before. And he has missed. 10-10. All level. Not the start David Waite would have wanted. McDermott with the drop ball. Carl Pratt not able to defuse the bomb, and Vanganar, a man, of course, who once upon a time was at Warrington in 1997. He was the top try scorer that year with 17 tries in the Super League. Right, let's go down to our reporters on the side. Chris Warren's with New Zealand. First, though, Bill, he's with Great Britain.
There's some pretty stern-looking faces on that Great Britain bench after that start to the second half, because just a few seconds before that, Graham Steadman, one of David Waite's assistants, had been telling me how pleased they were with that first 40 minutes, and the task really was just to build on that, to try and keep control as they had done, and to dominate field position and work to the kick and just put the pressure on the Kiwis. And immediately the Kiwis have turned the tables on them, and that has given Great Britain something to think about. But I'm sure that this will be a wake-up call for this Great Britain side if there was any complacency in there. I certainly don't think that's the case. Let's find out what the score is with the New Zealanders. Here's Chris Warren.
Well, I guess if body language tells a story, and it certainly does in this high-octane sport, before the game, in the warm-up, the Kiwis, they looked very, very relaxed, in fact, too relaxed, and I think they carried that through to the first 5 or 10 minutes of the first half. I can tell you, as they walked out here, their expressions on their face were markedly different. I think Gary Freedom gave them a stern talking to. I do know that his number one word, or 2 words, do not panic, 3 words, in fact. He said, build the platform, it will come.
Well, it might come if Britain keep on coughing up possession from these kicks through. And that's why the New Zealanders are in danger zone for Great Britain. And here is Lance O'Hire. And now it's with Gutenbeil. And he dumps the ball back to O'Hire. And a good job for Great Britain that Senior was there. Here is Vanganar, the try scorer. Now then Monty Beetham, Farrell and Joint, who's on.
It's so important that the British boys keep their line intact.
Well, wait for a high kick out wide. Another tester here for Leon Price. Well, they claimed it this time, and it's Connolly who comes up with the goods.
Good play by the fullback. Not a good shout between them. Price has picked up a knock.
It's all New Zealand this second half so far. Great Britain have got to get away from their own posts. 5 minutes gone. It's with Peacock here. And the problem here for Leon Price. Looks like he took a knee in the backside. This is Andy Farrell, Gutenbeil, and also the substitute Beetham.
Most important fact about that, Eddie, is that they did not concede a try when they looked a little bit shaky. 2 mistakes, both by the wingers.
Last tackle here for Great Britain, and Deacon humps the ball downfield, but the angle wasn't right for a 40-20, so here is Robbie Paul. He's away from Sinfield. Robbie Paul then pops the ball back to Francis Melly. Sinfield gets the tackle in the end.
Much different approach by the Kiwis in the second half. A lot more running, a lot more urgency. And they're getting over the advantage line with considerable ease. And this guy's having a wow of a game, Richard Swain.
Just heard from Chris Warren on the sideline that David Solomona has got a rib cartilage problem. We probably won't be seeing him again in this match. Great Britain 10-all against the Kiwis, and this is Stacey Jones, and this is Monty Beetham, and he offloads brilliantly to pull a 2-year.
Beautiful offload there. Short little pass, but look how they're getting over the advantage yet again.
Stacey Jones, oh, that's bounced, oh, that's going to be another one, is it, for Farfili? And Pratt has come up with another blunder, I'm afraid, out wide. It was pinched from him by Farfili. I don't think there's anything wrong with this, providing the winger is onside.
Just checking the onside and ground.
Well, it's been the key factor, isn't it? Off the side of the boot, he knew exactly what he was doing. No, it's miles onside. And you can see Pratt had already gone too early. He was on the downward slope. And the impact there, he went for the ball. I don't think he took the man. I think Fafili will be awarded this TRY. But what a shocking start by the British boys. Wants to see whether he took the man out, but I got the impression he was looking for the football, and he got it down.
Okay, no problem.
Gloves and all. And hasn't this test match swung around? I don't think he took Pratt out. I think he went for the ball. But I'm not the video referee.
Well, Henry Farfili waits for the decision, as we all do in this ground. And it's inevitable. The try is given. And 2 kicks have undone Great Britain, I'm afraid. And Gary Freeman, well, Well, he must have spotted something in that first half. He knew that his men hadn't really tested them out wide with the kicks. Boy, they've tested them now.
Key factor. And we thought it was going to be the other way around. It was the Kiwis that were struggling with this short kicking game. And now it is Great Britain's turn. Full credit, though, to New Zealand. They did not have much possession in that first 40. But the little bit they've had in the second half, they've turned them into 2 tries. And the confidence must be flying high in this side.
Will be if Swain kicks this, but he hasn't. It's another one that's missed in exactly the same manner as his first. So damage limited for Great Britain, 14 points to 10, but 2 tries, and both of them conceded by the British defence that couldn't cope with the kick.
Stay on side, fellas.
Problem.
It's
For Great
important.
Britain, and David Waite knows it.
It's important now that the kick is deep, the chase is good, trying to force the error, just like they did in that first half. That's a big enough hit.
But he bounced off him. Jerry see you. And here's Monty Beetham. Well, if they came out just a little lethargic at the start of the match, they're anything but that now, the New Zealanders. Reputations are on the line here. Pull it to you. Drives it forward. Tackled there by Chris Joint. Richard Swain, Stephen Kearney. Once they get a roll on these New Zealanders, they're difficult to stop. Here it is.
Well, we saw against the Welsh that Richard Swain controlled everything from dummy half, and when you got this guy...
Here's another high kick. Oh, and it's a mess. Off the head, fortunately, of Vanganar. Deacon will pick this up, play on.
That's 0.
But again, they were all at sea, Eddie.
Nobody wanted to take control.
And that is a lack of confidence. They've got to start talking to each other. One of them has got to say, I'm running to it and it's mine. The rest can shield.
Relieving penalty for Great Britain.
Calm it down. Don't rush into this. What they called held. You can see they were holding him down. No doubt about it in the mind of the Aussie referee, Stephen Clark. And this fella knows there's no rush. Let's just roll up the sleeves, get back into it. Very little ball in the second half.
Well, it's been an horrific start to the second half for Great Britain. And here is Chris Joint now, the St Helens skipper.
Well, I mentioned the fact we didn't see much running from Kieran Cunningham in the first 40, Eddie. I think there is, it's a lot worse than what they anticipated. I know they said it was a small broken bone in the hand, but I think he's going through a lot of pain as this fella dummy half.
Short ball to Peacock. That's 4 tackles gone. They're 40 metres away. Great Britain. Cunningham with a run down that touchline. That's bravery. Picked up there by Tupi. Sinfield to Deacon. Deacon with the high kick. Now then, can they put any pressure on Robbie Paul? And they get to him, and they try to drag him back over the line. That's a good chase. That will lift them.
There's a high kick, but just a little bit too far. You can see that there was no one being able to get close to Robbie Paul.
On the line, boys.
Sini was honing in late.
Better from Great Britain, though. That's 3 tackles gone. And this is Vanganar, and he's tackled by Fielden and by McDermott.
Got to be careful now. Britain are utilising this sliding defence, and they're swinging it out wide.
That's Melly. Melly gets the ball away. Gets it back. Bounces off Peacock, almost bounces off Cunningham. Looks to offload on the last, still in their own half of the field though. Wait for the kick from Stacey Jones. He's inside the 40. He's gone for a 40-20. Carl Pratt allows it to bounce again, picks it up eventually.
Pretty good umbrella defence there.
Great chase, led by Vanganar.
Well, what must be going through the 2 wingers on the British side, Liam Price, Carl Pratt, both come up with errors that have proved extremely costly. And this is where the forwards have to now take some responsibility in the British side. They've got to grind it out, make sure that they make the half break, hope that there's support there. It took them a while in the first half, but they got into the swing of things.
Farrell drives it in. Turned over on his back by Richard Swain. Last tackle here. Deacon.
Inside 40.
And he goes looking for 40-20, but underneath it is Henry Farfili. Inside it goes to Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul will attack from deep from that full-back role whenever he can.
Here's Great Britain back to me.
He's handled it well. He's had a fine game as the Bradford superstar.
And this now is Francis Melly again.
Up we get!
A lot more composure shown by this Kiwi outfit. Anticipated it. Gary Freeman is a shrewd coach.
See drives it in. They stand firm. McDermott and Fielden, so often sworn enemies on the field, but brothers in arms tonight. This is Stacey Jones.
That's the way to do it. Don't take the dummy.
Last tackle here for the New Zealanders. Ohio will hoist the kick. It's another tempting one. It's high. Connolly's on his own though. He claims it, and Connolly will launch a British attack. Great chase by Tupi. Another penalty.
Grabbing hold of the leg. Well, it must be frustrating for Gary Freeman, the Kiwi coach.
Frustrating for the Kiwis as well. They've talked back to Stephen Clark. Another 10 metres.
No doubt about it. Tupi made no attempt to release the leg. A relieving kick.
Here's Adrian Morley back on the field. It was an undignified, not the right word, undistinguished restart to his international career. Now the referee has got to take some action because he's warned them in the first half.
He'll go. Yeah. He knows that they're going to be down to 12.
Listen,
well, you want a yellow card?
Was that dominant or you want a yellow card? A yellow card's a sin bin, it's not dominant. All right, listen, I just pulled you up there for a leg pull, then you gave me a gob pull, and then you clearly held the bloke down. I've said to Stacey, if you hear me call dominant, it's dominant. If you don't hear dominant, you've got to get out. Okay? You've got to get onto it, okay?
Well, they're getting plenty of warnings from referee Stephen Clark.
No doubt about it. Just watch how he just makes sure that Morley can't get up.
Well, they can have no dispute with the penalty count, can Great Britain? 9-2. And here is Peacock. But they have to make something of this.
I'd go early in the tackle count with a kick, try to confuse them.
Oof.
Big hit there.
And he lost it to Fielden.
He's taken some hammer, and he wants to make sure that he's okay. This is good refereeing by Stephen Clark. He took some hammer. Oh, it was head to head.
Dave, can you just have a look at that, Dave, please? Sorry?
See you.
Who was it? Who was the number?
From 8 to 8.
Number
with the
8,
impact here. Oh, it's a wonder they weren't all split into little pieces. Oh, then did he do that on purpose?
Okay.
What is he doing here?
But he certainly went there.
It's fine.
Was he just talking to him, or... the big thing is, Eddie, was that deliberate?
Well, the referee has just asked the video referee to tell him which number it was, and so we now know, and everybody knows, that it's Jerry CU. And Brian Noble will be concerned because Stuart Fielden, not only one of his in Great Britain, one of his are the Bradford Bulls. That was a real clash of heads, and that's broken jaw territory.
Well, you take a big gamble. This is how it finished, and then...
just for good measure, he rubbed the head in the head that's on the ground. See, that's accidental, but that isn't.
Yeah. Especially when a man's hit the deck, he doesn't know what's happening there.
The referee's going to his back pocket for a card. I've got a funny feeling. Yeah, it's a blood bin.
It's your play the ball. Just wait. If it's a clash of heads, just slap on.
I think Stacey Jones had a little flutter as well.
Wait. Up you go, boys. Just wait, Richard. That's
So
zero.
that was a big hit. And here comes Logan Swan, and there's a bit of a punch-up in back play.
Referee hasn't seen it. He will now. No, he's still playing on. Now he's got him.
Adrian Morley, Leon Price, Andrew Farrell, Jerry CU, and I don't think that Farrell was terribly impressed with the reaction that CU gave to the sight of Adrian Morley going off the field.
Not only that, he was grinning at the opposition and enticing them through to lose their cool. And this is something that Britain should not do. They've got to get themselves back on track.
Who are you on it? Who are you in on?
Well, you can see there that Morley just went at him. It was a squared up from Morley, and not surprisingly, they all went for him. You see Morley coming through, make no attempt to go for the man with the football, just took out the prop forward.
Jerry!
Well, they've spotted him, and Morley has got a bit of a shiner for his troubles as well.
Okay. Well, the report I'm getting is you ran through, you're the
And you can see there that CU says, come and see me.
He came, the report I'm getting, he's come, hang on, listen, let's just get it out of the way so we can get on with footy.
Well, it was silly play by
He come
Adrian
through, the penalty, the whole incident's on report.
It's all on report, the incident, and the penalty goes to New Zealand.
And it's at a time where we didn't need that. We were trying to force them to keep the Kiwis in their own half, and we've fallen for the old 5-card trick.
Well, Adrian Morley is on report, and the whole incident will be viewed again.
Stacey Jones will be in no hurry.
Well, it's a frustration for Great Britain at the moment. But there was certainly afters following the CU and Field incident, and here's CU again.
But you do not allow that to get to you.
Logan Swan. Britain moving up quickly now.
In big games, Eddie, you've got to try to think positive all the time. And that was very negative from Morley.
Beetham's dropped it.
Went backwards.
Knock on.
Got away with it. Beetham's not happy. It appeared as though it squeezed behind him either way. No, well.
Is that a Kiwi I see sitting on your shoulder, by the way?
I call it as I see it.
Yeah. Well, that was a knock on.
You have your opinion, I have mine.
Britain now back in possession.
Here it is, Kiwis.
Who's lost it? Never even played it.
Farrell.
Well, they just rolled it back there and they're getting away with it.
Keith Senior.
Composure, that's what Great Britain need now. Just drive in, make sure there's pressure. Not the best pass from Senior.
And picked up by Sinfield in the end. Lost a bit of ground. Cunningham will try and make it up again.
That's ball!
Joint.
They're zoning in, aren't they? Vanganar just giving a big hit to Joint there.
Last tackle here. Deacon slipped as he kicked that. Robbie Paul's under. Oh, he's dropped it. Mind you, Connolly then
Knock on.
got him a bit high, but it was the presence of Connolly.
Yep, applied the pressure. Robbie Paul just had a little squint. He was in a good position. Arms were raised to accept. And just at the vital moment, just a little glimpse there. You can see Connolly coming to it. Wonderful opportunity for the British boys now.
Well, they'll all know they've been in the walls tonight. Britain with a 10-metre scrum.
This isn't Tiddlywinks, Eddie. And you see Andy Farrell is position in the loose forward. Will they do Farrell picking the ball up? No.
Deacon, and they come down the short side to Sinfield. Here is Senior.
That was chest, one! Here it is,
Lancer Hire went in high. Oh, Sinfield went backwards. Oh! Well, they're just lacking a little bit of cohesion at the moment, are the British.
Well, they're panicking. Well, they don't need to. There's plenty of time remaining.
Anderson.
Now they will. Paul Deacon start taking on the defence.
Here he is, Deacon. Taking it to them. Popping it back to Farrell. Cunningham at dummy half. Cunningham stabs the ball through. And they have it back, though, in the shape of Richard Swain. This is Robbie Paul from dummy half.
Interesting there. Quite a few of the British boys looked at Richard Swain and said, is that a voluntary tackle? It looked like it.
Morley. Morley forces the knock on, and the New Zealanders are unhappy with Adrian Morley. And Morley was a dominant figure in the grand final in Australia against the New Zealand Warriors. And he's a dominant figure there.
That was a big hit. They didn't like it.
Let's get straight down to Sean McRae. How are you viewing all this?
I'm glad I'm not out there, Eddie. This is as physical a game as I've seen for a long, long time. It's really, really tough. And I tell you what, these gladiators on the field, they're going to come off here and they know that they're going to take some time to recover from this. I've got to say, Great Britain are getting a little bit more field position now and a bit more possession. Hopefully, they can capitalise on it like they did in the first half. They need to come up with a score. And they've got a great opportunity to do it from this scrum.
Yes, they need a score here. Deacon feeds. Sinfield. And Sinfield will take them on. Good tackle by Robbie Paul. Back. Farrell. Farrell will attack the line. Drives it in hard. 10 metres away.
Hold here, hold here.
Cunningham directs it down the left channel. He goes right. He finds Anderson. Anderson.
What a run from the big fella.
Get out. Now then, will this be a Cunningham special from dummy half?
I hope so.
Cunningham. No. Oh, it's an awful pass. Miss kick though.
Came to the rescue there, Stacey Jones. Not the best shake of the head from David Wade. And you just get the feeling that when Britain get in a good position, they just panic.
Well, it wasn't the best pass, was it? And Tupi with a missed kick. That's why the Kiwis have got it back, but Britain are swarming around them now. They've regained the bit of composure they lost in the opening 10 minutes of this half. Oh, Gutenbeel's away! Owen Gutenbeel's away, and he's got Banganar with him.
Oh, he didn't look on the inside.
He looks now, he found O'Hire, and that's Connolly with O'Hire. And in the end, Connolly gets him down. Last tackle here for the Kiwis. Swain, Jones, wide it goes. Alawatiti. Jones again. Jones again. Banganar. Anderson gets the tackle. They offload though. Jones once more. This is Logan Swan. A chip over the top. Oh, he's come up with another. He's dropped it. Henry Farfili has dropped it. Gary Freeman leads the applause.
Side, David, and more
He'll go to the screen on this one.
But Carl Pratt has been taken to the cleaners upstairs.
Well, never even attempted it.
Oh, it's a try.
Yeah. The gloves held it in. Well, the second half, Carl Pratt, I'm afraid, is having a nightmare. He's onside. Definitely onside. Well, he's coming to a time now, Eddie, if this try is given, David Wade has to start changing. Got to bring someone off the bench. They've got Gilmore there.
Tries given to Farfili, and that's his second try of this test match.
Well, it was Britain that was taking the chances in that first half. Okay, there were 3 penalties, Farrell knocked them over, you take the points. But when you fall apart like this, there's about 7 or 8 passes. We didn't close them down. Look at this.
The chasing shadows here.
Standing around, great offload there. Here's a chip over the top. He was nowhere to be seen. And he has paid the price yet again. It's becoming a nightmare for the 2 wingers in the British shirts, sadly.
Well, Richard Swain only 1 from 3, and this again a difficult one, almost exactly the same spots as he's missed 2, and he's pushed it the wrong side of the post again.
Well, he's giving Britain a good chance to get back into this game.
18-10, but I'm with you. David Wade has got to make a change. He's got to do something to halt the tide down the flanks, and Carl Pratt has suffered in this second half.
Well, I got the impression that David Wade obviously was looking towards Lee Gilmore as playing as a forward. But he's got to do something about it. The confidence has really been knocked out of Carl Pratt already. And I'm not so sure that Liam Price would be too happy about things as well.
Lawatiti.
Starting to fall off the tackles now of Britain.
And here's Logan Swan again. Well, we saw Stuart Fielden going off very groggy. Bill, what's the news?
Well, the news, thankfully, is that Stuart Fielden's up on his feet. He's got a cut inside his mouth, but thankfully that's all he came out of that amazing clash with. And in fact, he's up on the sidelines now, pacing up and down. And I think that's just a hint to David Waite and his coaching team that Stuart Fielden is ready for more.
Yes, maybe Fielden will return to the fray. And I think that's a knock-on by Gary Connolly.
There's only a small one. He's absolutely confused. The full back, but Stephen Clark's definitely saw a little fumble. I don't know where. He never got a foot to it either, but...
Well, that's the norm. That's the norm these days.
There have been plenty of that. And in fact, it's the Australian coaches that got together with the referees down under.
Well, he said it was a knock-on, but I don't know where he got the knock-on from, unless he's done him for not regaining his feet before plonking the ball on the deck. I suppose that should be a penalty, Steve, if that be the case.
And sadly for Britain, the combination of the youngster, O'Hare, I think he struggled in the first half. Now he's gaining in confidence. The combination with Stacey Jones
and this
is
man,
taking its effect.
This man Kearney as well. There's Swain, Jones. Here's O'Hare. Logan Swan through Deacon. Good job. The Chris Joint was there. Pullatuya wrestled to the ground on the last. Now then, Carl Pratt, Leon Price wait for the kicks wide. It's with Jones. Leon Price, it's your turn. Leon Price claims it.
Did well to stay in the field of play.
That's better.
Sure is, he needed that as well to build his confidence. But the key factor, and Gary Freeman knows it, he told him at half-time, a little bit more composure, and let's use a kicking game like Britain did in that first half. And boy, oh boy, hasn't it paid off.
Farrell, Pullatuya, Kearney and Logan Swan there to bring him down. Big quarter of an hour left for Great Britain's international ambition. Oh, great run from Anderson. And that hurt. That hurt Jerry Siu. Deacon, what he'd give for a 40-20 now.
That's a poor kick, Eddie. Never gave any opportunity for the chasers to apply that pressure.
Morley with the tackle on Melly. Robbie Paul. He's got support inside, and Farfili will get the hat-trick. Farfili with the hat-trick under the post, and Robbie Paul, he just ghosted through the British defence, and it's all gone sour for Great Britain in this second half. Henry Farfili, a hat-trick. And it's very, very quiet at Ewood Park now.
Superb play by the full-back. I mentioned earlier that the British boys were falling off the tackle. It was Chris Joint on that occasion, but they allowed Robbie Paul far too much latitude at the play-the-ball area. It's hat-trick time. Look at that. You've got to close him down, and when Joint missed back on the inside, kept his cool. Wonderful play there by Farfili. Knew exactly where Paul was going. He came off the touchline on the inside. And it looks a very bedraggled side behind the posts.
Henry Farfili has just become the first man ever to score a hat-trick of tries against Great Britain. His wing partner Francis Melly got 3 against Wales last weekend. Here tonight in the cauldron of International Test Rugby League, Henry Farfili comes up with same again. That's 3 tries for him personally, and it has all gone sour in this second half. 4 tries, none of them converted yet. That one is, and it's 24-10, and Britain now have an awful job on their hands.
It's a big ask, and you can see that the crowd are stunned, and rightly so. Only a few New Zealand flags waving around, and they're celebrating this man's hat-trick. Rightly so. Great hairstyle. Certainly like that. Not a bad player either. Oh, that's a mistake.
Not much, though. Well, can Great Britain rescue this in the last 12 minutes? It's going to be tough. Oh, and they're falling off tackles dreadfully. This is Pullatuya. And Senior was the man who got back to him.
An amazing action, hasn't he, the big fella Pullatuya? He looks as though he's just walking, but he strides through, and you can see now the British defence, they're not moving up as they did in the first half. They're hanging back. They're a bit shell-shocked at the moment.
See you. Cunningham got to him on the 4. Richard Swain, Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones to O'Hare. O'Hare wide to Logan Swan. Farrell gets to him with Joint, with Deacon. That's the last. Now then, they look for Jones with the kick. Leon Price, get ready. Oh, Robbie Paul will do. And Stacey Jones is there in support. Gleeson did well, but the way they get this ball away, it's mesmerising. And there is Van Genaar, and he just couldn't get the final pass out wide to
Britain, and he knows it. And so is the scoreboard. That was brilliant play. And it's a very tired British side now.
Here it is.
Some out there can hardly walk.
Deacon, Farrell gets away from Vangenaar, gets away from O'Hire. The ball was knocked back. That's going to be 6 to go. It is. Referee wipes the tackle count down. Senior retains possession for Great Britain. Carl Pratt now. Can he make amends? Wrestled to the ground by O'Hire. Forshaw at dummy half. Chris Joint on halfway is tackled by Richard Swain.
Got to take a gamble now. Little chip over the top. Anything that's different.
Sinfield. Back it goes. Here is Peacock. Peacock trying to get that ball away, but New Zealand wrapping him up.
Here's Richard.
Connolly will attack them. Wide it goes. Gleeson. It was touched in flight. It's going to be 6 more to go. Well, consecutive sets of 6 for Great Britain. Here's Sinfield. They have to turn this possession into something. Morley. Tupy gets him down.
Much better by the British boys, running on with a lot more venom.
And this is Martin Gleeson. Cunningham waits. 10 metres away.
3 sets of 6, Eddie. You'd normally come up with points.
Deacon. Farrell. They waited for him.
Great defence. They knew exactly what Deacon was going to do. Now then, kick and chase, surely.
Connolly. Offloads to Joint. Back it goes untidily. Picked up by Cunningham. And Cunningham will run flat. Then he'll give it to Gleeson. This is now Adrian Morley. Here is Paul Deacon.
Just a little bit slow on the support.
Cunningham down and hurt. Right. As Deacon gets to his feet. Price. Sinfield. Stabbed through. Looking for Carl Pratt.
He's offside and he's knocked on.
Knock on is the decision.
He could have made amends, but I think if they'd have gone for the screen, Eddie, I think it was well in front of the kicker. Didn't matter. But the idea is good. They had to do something different. You could not just barge your way through there. Kevin Sinfield, who's tried his hardest, I must say, it just has not been this man's night. And neither is it for this fella.
And that's the other arm. The bandage is on the injured hand, and Cunningham has got problems with the other arm now.
We'll talk about putting your body on the line. This guy does it week in, week out. He's a tough hombre, but he's succumbed to what appears to be yet another problem with the arm. The doctor very, very carefully taking away. He pushed away there. Oh, yeah. Maybe he could have just dislocated it, I don't know.
Well, he's got a problem, that's for sure.
Well, when he fended off.
And at last we see Lee Gilmore coming off the bench.
Well, it's a big ask for David Waite. I thought he should have done that a lot earlier, especially with the fact that Carl Pratt was going through a nightmare. And then you can see there is a big problem.
As soon as he fended, you saw the agony go through his face.
Was it a dislocated elbow or something like that? Who knows? Could have been an airline fracture.
Lauatiti to Kearney. Sinfield went for him. Gleeson and Sinfield. He won't take the dive. Kearney. Here's Lauatiti again. And Paul Sculthorpe. We just have to hope for a miracle that he'll be available for the second test next week.
I'm with you, Eddie. We certainly need him out there.
Inside 40.
Richard Swain with the kick over the top. He's gone looking for a 40-20. Leon Price is after this. He mustn't let it go, and he knew that. Great chase.
A great game from the hooker, Richard Swain. To me, he's been the man of the match. I know I feel he's got a hat-trick.
Straight.
Not standing square to play the ball. Penalty, Great Britain.
No, he's not inside the he's inside.
Little doubt about it. Mr. Malley.
Back here, boys.
3 steps to the right-hand side.
Wait.
Well, 10-3. Penalty in favour of Great Britain. No complaints about that.
No excuses. Sadly to say, Eddie, we've brought our own downfall.
This is Gilmore, and Gilmore is away. He's got Robbie Paul to take on. There was nobody in support.
Sinfield. He's had a fine game, but this man, look at the upper body strength there, fresh legs, determination, quick play the ball. Watch Sinfield's offload, committed himself. Kearney had him lined up, Peacock straight in. Have we got time?
Well, if you look at the clock, the answer's no, but never say never in this game. And Peacock's try has given Britain hope. 24-14, kick to come. Andrew Farrell. Important kick. He's come up with the goods, the captain.
Straight as a die, just when they needed it.
Now another six-pointer, and who knows? 24-16. Shade more than 5 to go. Not impossible. Unlikely.
Probably right, Eddie, but as I say, I think we lost this test in the opening 10 minutes of the restart.
Correct.
Too many mistakes.
McDermott's drop ball, and then the wingers terrorised by the high kicks. But Britain now, well, with the sniff of something anyway. For sure.
Well, David Waite would have gleaned some respectability in the knowledge that when they get a little bit late in this game, the Kiwis, they're also tired. It's been a rough, tough game.
Oh, it's been a physical encounter. This is Farrell. And here is Gilmore again. And here's Gilmore again. And Gilmore, just what the doctor ordered here. Deacon. Dub over the top. Connolly is after this. Oh, what a shame. What a shame.
Well, that's what I've been calling for, Eddie. You've got to come up with something different. If he's struggling to get through a solid defence, you've got to use the chip over the top, and Connolly just couldn't get to it. Well, there's a lot of positives, I'm sure, that David Waite and the British boys will grasp from this, especially in the last few minutes with Peacock. The wonderful work from Gilmore. And there again we saw the difference of bringing on a sub. He should have come on earlier, Eddie. Would you not agree?
No, I'm with you with that, definitely. Mine goes back to that Wembley Cup final when Bradford were bombed to submission by Sean McRae's St Helens, 1996, wasn't it? And certainly Great Britain have been in strife out wide with the high kicks. I'm sure they'll be working on that in the week to come.
Important now that Britain do not concede another try. At least they can go off this park with a little bit of positive running through their brains.
Guttenbeil.
Maybe they'll go for the 1 point, will they? Will they think about it?
I don't think that's in this team's vocabulary, is it? Robbie Paul, wide it goes to Lauatiti. He gets the ball away, missed out the runner, but still found the winger. The winger then, Francis Melly, just hammers the ball over the dead ball line.
Good play though from Melly. You can see the in and out. It completely confused Leon Price.
Senior, they've kept him very quiet, Keith Senior. He's terrorised defences in the Super League this year. This is Joint.
Not many opportunities for both the centres, Gleeson and Senior. And it just shows you that this quick defence from New Zealand, they come up, umbrella defence, come out wide quickly, just shunt your opposition down the middle.
Gilmore again. He's found. Oh, he found Deacon, and Guttenbeil said, "Come to Daddy." Forshaw, Farrell, shaped a kick, gave it to Joint. That's the last. And Deacon with a kick over the top, but well, they'll hunt the mistake here from Francis Melly. Decent chase, Gleeson and Peacock.
Unless we have the jumper time, rightly so. They know that they've got it.
Yeah, the test match has gone for Great Britain, but it's just the margin now. 8 points, no disgrace. This is Kearney.
tackle 3.
Could have been so different, Steve-O. Could have been so different. Keeney with all the experience in the world. 42nd cap tonight, 11th time against Great Britain. Here's Beetham.
X4.
Nothing fancy. They know they've got it all wrapped up. Did the player that's still on the last, I feel.
This is Lautiti. That's the last now. Last tackle, says referee Stephen Clark, in the last minute also. And Richard Swain hit that out on the full. It's the turnover. So Great Britain will have...
Oh, what an awful pass. Oh, that is a disgrace.
Well, they've lost the plot now. I was about to say Great Britain will have the last 6 tackles, but they won't.
Too many errors in the second half.
Well,
very despondent. You can see it etched on their faces, and rightly so, because from the very kick-off in the second half, the mistake, and they've gone from bad to worse, I'm afraid.
Now then, New Zealand looking to round it off in style. Senior gets hold of Robbie Paul. He has played well. This is going to be the last attack, and Vanganar knows that. And Pratt, oh no! Forward. Vanganar will score. Well, Carl Pratt has had a night to forget. The tries given to Vanganar looked from up here a touch forward. Maybe that was a despairing call. But I'm sorry, Carl Pratt has had a night he will want to forget.
You can say that again, Eddie. Vanganar utilising that short blind side. Poor Carl was nowhere to be seen. As you say, a little bit dubious was the pass, but certainly went for the football. What a great offload, though. He wasn't seen in the first half, but boy, oh boy, they have put on a wonderful display in this second stanza.
Well, I was saying that an 8-point defeat wouldn't be too disheartening for David Waite and Brian Noble and the rest of the British party. But it's now 28-16 and kick to come. It's going to be a 14-point margin. 30 points if Swain gets this. 30 points to 16. This is the last kick of the first test at Ewood Park. 30 points to 16. Final score. A transformation in the second 40 for the New Zealand.